guys, bank fishing today. See some bluegill right up here near the bank. I'm just gonna throw a topwater around here this morning, see if we can get bit. Got a little bit of Main Lake Point here. There we go. Alright, nice little one on top water. Start the morning off. Chunky. Alright guys, just fishing Main Lake Point right here. Right off the bat in the morning. Just trying to parallel the bank here. Seen some bluegill popping. So threw on this, or actually I already had it tied on. Bent was down here yesterday. So got this prop bait on. Alright guys, there's a ton of bass cruising the bank right here. They are not hitting that top water like that first one. So we're gonna make a switch. Dealing with really clear water, so we're gonna go with the Fat Baby Finesse on a shaky head bluegill killer. See if this gets us any more bites. Now, when we're fishing along the bank here, you want to walk nice and quiet so you don't spook no fish. Also, like to parallel the bank here because they're just cruising that rock edge here right now. Of course, on this Main Lake Point, you can cast out and work uphill. We'll do that later, but right now in the morning, they're just cruising this bank right here in between the grass and the rocks. There's a nice drop off on these rocks. It kind of slants right out like that, and then it curves over. That's kind of where them fish like to hang. So I'm just trying to work that. Just seen a 3-pounder just cruise by us. But one important thing to note when you're bank fishing is to walk nice and quiet along the bank so you don't spook anything off. Now I like to parallel as much as I can, unless you come up on a Main Lake Point. You kind of know jets out. Then you cast out into the water and work it uphill, which we'll do that here a little bit. Also on different lakes, you fish differently. Like if you're just in a shallow situation, shallow lake situation with a lot of vegetation, then you can cast all around you. But I know this lake right here drops off pretty good. So fishing points and stuff would be worth it, but other than that, unless you know if there's a brush pile or something out from you that you could hit, it wouldn't be as efficient fan casting. Not to say you wouldn't catch anything, but I know they like to hang on this nice drop off here right against these rocks, so that's what I'm focusing on. There's a little bit of vegetation, so we'll hit that too, but if we don't get bit on this topwater here shortly, I think we're going to switch to the wacky rig. There's just too many bass cruising along here not get bit. Always pay attention. I mean, it's a must-have to have polarized glasses if you're bank fishing. I mean, that's going to give you a huge advantage if your water's any kind of clear. Now, if you're fishing chocolate milk, it ain't going to do much for you. But definitely recommend having a good set of polarized glasses if you're a bank fisherman. Alright, we're switching, guys. Get the old wacky rig out. Also recommended, pack light. We brought 2 colors of Senkos today with us. These are fish catching machines right here. One of the top lures that I would recommend for a bank fisherman. We just got a couple bluegill looking colors with us today. I'll show you how to rig one real fast, which I learned. Everybody knows how to rig a wacky Senko, but I don't know if everybody knows about the 4th ring down is center. I learned that off, I think Tactical Bassin was talking about that, and that gives you a perfectly balanced Senko. Alright, let's see what we can do now. Plenty of them cruising right here. Try to make as long a cast as you can down the bank. So they don't know you're here. And if you ain't parallel on the banks, kind of try to stay back from the edge of the water when you're fishing. Definitely helps on them big smart ones. There we got one now. Oh, are you kidding me? That was a good one too. How did he come unbuttoned? Golly, that was a good one. Tell you what, when I set the hook, my anti-reverse did not work for whatever reason. Golly, that was a good one. That's the ones that we wanted. Also, another thing to pay attention to is your shadow. That's the biggest reason you want to stay off the bank if you're casting straight out from you, so you don't cast your shadow over the fish and spook them. But we're going down the bank, so it's behind us. Just want to pop that Senko along there and kind of let it do its thing, let it fall, give off that shimmy. That shimmy is what them bass react to. Makes that Senko so good. One thing to look for is different shade lines when you're fishing for largemouth bass. Not only that, there's a bunch of bluegill beds right out through here too. See one right now. Looking at it. A couple of them looking at it. I think he's seen me. There he is. Got him. Oh, are you kidding me? Trying to expose that hook there so it would come through. Just didn't come through on that one. There's another one. So there's a catfish. Nah, catfish. See a couple bass right here. One's got it. Oh. Well, that'd be a good video if I could hook them. Didn't lose a fish the other day. Get my fish loss numbers up for the year. Alright. Hook feels good. Let's see how many more times I can do that. See a fish and catch it, and then lose it. The tip when rigging this with light line like we're fishing with today, try to punch that through the plastic and expose it like that. So that hook's right there. Now, I did not do that earlier because I was next to them weeds and I didn't want to do that, but obviously you seen that I was losing fish, so we're doing it now. hit this little subtle point here, see if something hanging out right there. There he is. Oh, it's a bluegill. Dang bluegill. Bring that up there. Might as well catch one. Getting our good fishing the bank tip. Wear sandals or Crocs in case you have to get in the water. There we go, guys. We got one. We're hooked up. We're hooked up finally. Feels like a decent one. There we go, guys. Pretty decent one there. Darn thing looks pre-spawn, but I feel like it's just feeding up after spawn. Nice, decent one there. There we go. Just had to get in the water with them. Wading ain't a bad thing either if you guys have a good lake to do that on. Got the scale on that one. Just them little points like that sticking out hold fish on your bank fishing. Just stuff to look for right there. This particular lake, you know, shaky head, wacky worm and jig and from the bank and little top water. Every lake's going to be a little different on what you want to choose, but usually you can't go wrong with parallel on the bank. Like I said, usually you can't go wrong with parallel on the bank. Being quiet. Get out here early before you have a whole lot of other bank fishermen. You'll find some success.